So today I wanted to talk about the shit show that is the winter update for Halo Infinite. Now, speaking of shit shows, later this week I'm going to be uploading a video giving my thoughts on the Halo TV series because I finally got around to the torture that was. So subscribe if you want to see that. That being said, let's get into the topic of this video, and be forewarned, there's probably going to be a lot of profanity in this, so if that's not your thing, or if you don't want to hear that as much, maybe turn your volume down. Actually, yeah, turn your volume down. That's probably a good idea. So yeah, you've been warned. So for the Halo Infinite Winter Update, we were promised Forge, and we got Forge in a really broken, messy, almost beta state. I would even say that it may even be earlier than beta because it's a disaster. When the core functionality features of the game don't work, you would think that they would, I don't know, maybe delay it, maybe not release it in this state, or maybe just not be fuck-ups in the first place and actually release a game that works. So, the Halo Infinite Winter Update brings with it more cosmetics, more microtransactions, because yay! Hey, remember in Halo Reach when we got all the cosmetics for free at launch? You know, included with the price of the base game? But no, you don't get that in Halo Infinite. You get them spoon-fed to you over time, and then they'll sell them to you for small packages of absurd prices over time, even though the base game itself doesn't work because that's 343's business model, which can best be described as a fuck you approach, a player's last mentality, unlike what they swore to us before the game was out of a player-first mentality. But I digress. So, more microtransactions, more cosmetics, which we all knew was going to happen anyway, but it is what it is, whatever. But more UI issues. A lot of players are reporting that the UI just won't load for them. Now, I've had issues with that since Halo Infinite first launched, so I don't know if these are more issues or if they're just the same issues that still haven't been patched a year later. Either ways, it's unacceptable. On top of this, there are multiple players reporting that some armor has just been missing. It doesn't work. And then there's a map that they've now removed from matchmaking because it crashes the game. Imagine a year after your game releases and you have a map that just crashes the game a year later. I don't even know what to say to that. So, what about the Forge mode? Well, the Forge mode will crash on you multiple times. One user I found on r/Halo saying that it crashed on him 3 times. And on top of that, even though he was constantly saving his progress, when he would reload his last save, for some reason the save functionality didn't even work properly, where a lot of recently interacted with objects wouldn't be in their places. They wouldn't actually be saved. They would just be in a random place, or their orientation would be angled the wrong way. So that's just great. Forge doesn't work properly. Other people are reporting that Forge mode will just straight up crash. Someone was remaking Kyren TL34 from Halo 1, and after like 2 hours, the game crashed and he lost all his progress. All of it. Did 343 even test this? But that's not it. That's not it. Before I get to that, apparently, the UI menu in Forge will just disappear. If you go to pause the game and select, resume game, save game, leave game, yeah, that just disappears sometimes. Just gone. So, you wanted to save it? You've worked for 4 hours on this map? Nope, fuck you, too bad. It's just gonna disappear. You want to resume the game? You want to leave the game? Nah, too bad. Not gonna happen. Gotta hard reset your Xbox, I guess. Now, these things are bad. But perhaps the most egregious thing of all to me is that they have now removed bot boot camp from matchmaking. I don't know if the bots are in custom games, but even if they are, they never worked properly there anyway. And custom games, by the way, is still a mess. Oh, desync is still an issue. And the fact that the game uses a ridiculous shit ton of data for one multiplayer match is also still a problem that they're not saying anything about, to my knowledge. So, of course. But yeah, they've removed bot boot camp. Bot boot camp, a lot of people had fun with that. I had fun with that. I had the most fun on Halo Infinite in the brief time that I actually played it on Bot Boot Camp because 343 has repetitively catered to this crowd of sweaty, grindy, over-the-top MLG wannabe players that the regular matchmaking is almost impossible to enjoy. You either get into matches, not to mention they also cater to casuals too. It's like they have this weird duality where on the one hand they cater to the ultra competitive with their challenge system, their general push of the whole MLG media going on, and then they also cater to the super casuals because they made the game free to play. So that leads to these weird matches where you get players that either you're completely dunking on them, and it feels like there's no point in playing the game. You may as well be playing against the easiest bot settings. Or they're completely dunking on you, and you spawn into the match and just basically instantly die. Or you get triple teamed by somebody as soon as you walk away from your spawn area. There'll just be like 3 guys that jump on you as soon as you load into the match, right? So regular matchmaking kind of sucks. That's one of the reasons I stopped playing Halo Infinite. That's the main reason I stopped playing Halo 5, because the over-competitive bullshit, the lack of fun in the game, well, maybe not want to play it. Why would I want to play a game that's not fun? But hey, Bot Boot Camp was fun. I would, from time to time, go on to Halo Infinite and try to play Bot Boot Camp, because, hey, it's just against bots. I like games like Ravenfield, the OG Battlefront 2 from 2005. Playing against bots there, it was fun. Those games are not popular because they had a super competitive environment. In fact, most games aren't popular because of a super competitive environment. The old Call of Duties, well, yes, they had their MLG compilations and players and things like that. As a general rule, the most fun thing that people had in the classic Modern Warfare 2 was putting on the riot shield and then pissing people off with it. Blocking Predator missiles with the riot shield was fun. It wasn't competitively viable, it wasn't balanced, but it was fun. Playing on Halo 3 and coming up with a custom game or a Forge map where you build 2 giant castles and you've got one team with the Scorpions and one team with the Wraiths and all the Covenant stuff, and they duke it out together, that was fun. It wasn't about competitive viability or anything like that. Halo has not been competitive at its core, as that one moron said on stage at that recent 343, whatever that was. I don't even know what that was, right? No. It was about being fun. But of course, 343 says no fun allowed, so if you enjoyed Bot Boot Camp, well, fuck you. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. You can't play it anymore. Someone even made a post on r/Halo where they talked about, they have a family member who's disabled, and the regular multiplayer is too much to handle for them, but they'd really like to play, the Bot Boot Camp, and now they can't. So, and it's funny, too, because 343 and Microsoft, a company that constantly preaches how woke they are and how inclusive they are, they go and they remove these features that make the game more accessible to people that may have a disability of some sort, right? Because if you have a disability, whether it's a mental disability or a physical disability, chances are you're not going to be able to play the game as good, or maybe you won't be able to enjoy it as much. But no, 343 just said, fuck you to those people, because they removed it, right? Maybe you're just a less skilled player. Maybe you've had a long day at school or work or just whatever. You want to sit back and chill and relax. No, can't play it. Now, their justification for removing it was to increase the health of other playlists. The 8 or so that they have, if they even have 8. This game barely has any playlists. Halo 4 back in the day had more playlists than this. And Halo 4 was notorious for having one of the largest, most rapid player drop-offs in Halo's history. But yet it still had more playlists than this game. So let me get this straight. 343 has to remove options to force people to play other options, and then slow down the progression to prolong the longevity of the game to force people to play it longer. Players are supposed to want to play your game, 343. I don't know if you know this, but part of making a good game is to make people want to play it, not manipulate them into grinding or cutting off their options and forcing them to play a certain way, because you know what? The vast majority of them are just going to leave. They're not going to spend more money on your microtransactions. They're not going to continue to grind. Now, there are some simps that will. There's a lot of them. The corporate shills, the simp types, or the people that just get stuck on the game and don't even know why they're playing anymore. That was me with Halo 5 for a long time. I hated it. I played it for like 6 months. I only really enjoyed it for the first month. And I stopped playing it and I was a lot happier in terms of gaming. But once again, 343 is trying to kind of pigeonhole people into playing what they want them to play rather than allowing them to choose what to play. And, that's the thing, too. They need it for the health of other playlists, quote-unquote. But where are all these players going? It's sad that a flagship series that used to be a system seller is now struggling to maintain even the most basic player base, and it's gone free to play. That's sad. There is no firefight mode. There's no horde mode, right? No firefight mode, no survival mode, no Spartan Ops mode. Up until recently, there was no co-op. There's still no split-screen co-op campaign. They canned that. They canceled it. Despite promising that every Halo game going forward would have it. Nope, they canceled it, right? The Forge mode barely works, so where are these players even going? They're going to other games, because this game is trash, okay? Now, this is my opinion, obviously, but the gameplay is just okay. It's really nothing special. It's better than Halo 5, I think. It's probably better than Halo 4, but other than that, it's just okay. It doesn't really do it for me. I don't think the gameplay alone was enough to make this game stand up. This game needed content. I think if Halo Infinite actually had more varied environments in the campaign, had co-op campaign at launch, had a firefight mode, what about a forgeable firefight mode? What about a larger scale? I mean, you have it on a newer system, right? We're not dealing with the Xbox 360's limitations anymore, so what about a forged firefight, right? Where you could make your own firefight maps. That would significantly promote the longevity of the game. That would get more players. You could even release DLC packs to allow people to have new maps for that. And that would actually be worth it. I would buy that. Loads of people would buy that, but they won't. Because all 343 is interested in is hopping on the mainstream trends and trying to make a quick buck. Halo, at this point, has just been hoarded out, okay? Halo's being pimped right now. They're just chopping it up into little pieces and giving little slivers of the experience to people, and it's buggy as shit. It barely works. And the winter update is just a further demonstration of 343's inability to have any level of competence, or any level of, not just competence, but care in making a good game. You know, the developers behind this game mock the fan base. They mock people who criticize them. Just recently, I believe it was the community manager, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the community manager who came out and made a Twitter post where he mocked players for criticizing 343's art direction decisions. He literally mocked them. As a community manager, you should not be mocking people that criticize your game. Your job is to de-escalate things and kind of explain things and make things a bit better for everyone and manage things, like manage crises when they happen, not fuel the fire. r/Halo, which I don't think is run by actual 343 employees, although there may be some moderators on there. I don't know. The point is r/Halo, the absolute polarization of the Halo community, if there was ever a definition for it, they changed where it says how many like followers or how many subscribers r/Halo has. It says the number, and then it says Quan Ha fans. Quan Ha is a character from the Halo TV series that is universally hated. It's like they know they're pissing the fan base off. And not to mention the fact that they just go and they ban anybody that says something they don't like there. I'm personally banned on there myself because I said something that went against the narrative that they didn't like. Actually, I called a post cringe. I literally just said one word. I just said cringe to a post. And they banned me because they said that I was keeping the community unsafe. I need something about keeping the community safe and civil or whatever. And apparently me saying cringe to a post that was shilling for 343, trying to appear woke and whatnot, was apparently hate speech or some shit like that. Don't get me started on the Halo subreddit. Well, that's that. The winter update's a dumpster fire. Forge could have been cool. They could have patched glitches, but no. All they do is release a buggy beta state Forge and remove game modes that people were enjoying. But go figure. This is 343. Why would I expect anything different from them at this point? Leave a like on the video if you agreed with anything I said. Comment below what issues have you had with the update. And, yeah, subscribe if you want to see my take on the Halo TV show. And check out my other videos. Check out my other videos on fun games. Check out Ravenfield. Check out Stalker. Those are great games. Those are actually fun. You'll actually enjoy those. So, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for watching. If you've stuck around this long, a massive thank you. I know this video has become quite a rant. But, yeah, thanks for sticking around. Have a great day. As always, stay safe. #Fire343.